The Damascus Titan missile explosion was a 1980 U.S. nuclear weapons accident involving a Titan II intercontinental ballistic missile, which experienced a liquid fuel explosion inside its silo at Missile Complex 347-7 out in the middle of nowhere, Arkansas. On the evening of September 18, 1980, two airmen were checking the pressure of an oxidizer tank on a USAF Titan II ICBM inside a silo at the launch complex. One of the airmen had brought the wrong tool, handling a ratchet rather than a torque wrench, and when the 8-pound socket slipped off the wrench at a height of 80 feet, it fell and pierced one of the first stage fuel tanks, immediately causing a massive leak of Aerozine 50 rocket fuel. Aerozine 50 is a hypergolic fuel, which means that it will ignite automatically if it comes in contact with the contents of the adjacent tank, which is filled with dinitrogen tetroxide, and there's a 9-megaton warhead up on the top. After the leak, the military personnel were mostly evacuated, and civilian agencies were brought in to deal with the hazardous situation. These liquid-fueled rockets get a significant amount of their rigidity from the pressure inside the fuel tanks, so there was a concern that the empty tank now on the bottom of this rocket could cause the entire thing to collapse under its own weight, therefore exposing the fuel to the oxidizer. Early the next morning, two members of the Air Force were ordered into the silo, and when their detectors detected an explosive atmosphere, they were ordered to go back in to turn on a ventilation fan. The instant the fan was flipped on, the entire complex exploded. The explosion popped the 740-ton silo door off the top, slinging it some 200 yards to the northeast. Thermonuclear warhead was ejected some 30 yards beyond the front gate, falling into some soft mud. The safety measures inside the warhead prevented a detonation or any loss of nuclear material. One of the airmen who'd been ordered in died. The other suffered respiratory issues for the rest of his life, with a further 21 personnel around the area being injured as well. The entire launch complex was destroyed and never rebuilt. It now exists under a pile of rubble on private property. The platform that the technician was standing on when he dropped his ratchet was supposed to have a protective rubber bumper that would close the gap between the platform and the missile, preventing things from being dropped in this way. This piece of rubber had gotten old, lost its elasticity, and hadn't been replaced. Failure to maintain this $5 piece of rubber destroyed nearly $250 million worth of American nuclear infrastructure and killed someone.